Hey, it's the Right Rican, and I'm here today to talk to you about uh, the censorship that's going on. Spoke about it briefly yesterday, but it went on steroids overnight with Google and Apple. Google actually banned Parler, and now Apple is also warning Parler, and this is. It's dangerous. It's dangerous for our country. It really is. It's really. Look, it doesn't like. This is how. Let me start with. Had a conversation with a friend from my men's group. Anyone who goes to church will understand what I'm talking about. It's just like you can say it's like a Bible group, but really, we get together, we talk about everything, and he was like, "Hey, but Parler allows for hate speech," and I'm like, hate speech is subjective. You can't. That's the problem with going. Oh well, hate speech is something you don't. It could be anything. It could be something as stupid as the word stupid. I remember when I was a kid, I called another kid stupid, and his parents came at me and goes, "Hey, why did you curse out my kid?" And I'm like, called him stupid. I didn't say a curse word. And they're like, "Yes, that's a curse." And I'm like, really? I think it was like 11, 10, something like that. But it's like, that memory never leaves my mind because it was funny at the time, but now it's not funny. Now I see it's like, this is how people use it. It's like, oh, well, back in the day, Nazis used to, when we had Nazis or let's say the KKK, they used to walk, they used to do marches in like predominantly black neighborhoods, and let's say the ACLU used to actually fight to allow that stuff to happen, and now nobody fights for that stuff. We don't have to agree. The KKK and neo-Nazis and all that stuff, that's disgusting to me. But should they be banned from speaking? No. Because what's going to happen, what happens is those people are going to find a way to talk. They don't need Facebook. They don't need Twitter. The problem is radicalization. These people will go there and they'll go into the echo chamber, and bad ideas become worse ideas. If you want to de-radicalize these people, if you want unity, you cannot ban these platforms. That's not the solution. It's enough that Twitter is banning speech. He's banning. Twitter is banning speech. They're banning Trump. That just cannot be. Even here's an article. Mexico leader condemns Twitter, Facebook for blocking Trump. I'm sure this is going to be. I'm pretty sure Trudeau is going to probably support it, and but it doesn't matter who. It's not about supporting Trump. It's not about being for Trump. It has nothing to do with that. It has to do with being for free speech. And here's the problem. Like I said, it's going to cause further radicalization. People are going to go into their trenches. It's going to create a deeper division because people are not going to speak to each other. People are going to go into their sides, dig in, and no one's going to talk to no one. What you're going to see is what's going to go on. I'm going to show you a video of someone calling for a solution. I don't like the solution, but I'm going to put this, but if the left and people on the left, because I'm not going to say liberal, I'm not going to say leftist, I'm going to say progressive, I'm just going to say people on the left, because that's a big group there. If you are okay and you allow and you don't condemn Twitter and Facebook for doing these actions, because it wasn't only Trump, Trump was the headline, but you had like the walkaway campaign on Facebook that was taken out, and the only thing the walkaway campaign was videos and people talking about how they left the Democratic Party. That's what it was, and that just got banned on Facebook. So if that doesn't tell you that this is political, I don't know what will wake you up to that. You know, all the people that were banned on Twitter, other than Trump, people that were banned for just sharing a video. That's, you know, the best light is the best disinfectant, and that's what it comes. Banning speech is not going to make it less available. Well, it's going to make it less available, but it's going to make it less available to a select few that people are going to go search for it. We need to come together. We're not going to come together by doing this. What's going to end up happening is, like I said, there's I want to play a video here by Dan Bongino, not this one, this one, where Dan Bongino, like I said, I don't like the solution, but this is where the left leaves us in, you know, creating a parallel economy, creating a parallel country, because if they're not gonna leave us our freedoms, and you know, they'll go after you if you're in your job. They'll fire, you know, they'll get you fired for putting a post that you disagree with. They'll ban you. They'll, you know, you'll get, you won't be able to work. You won't be able to speak. You won't be able to pay. You know, I mean, Google Play took out Parler. Who's to say that they'll go, okay, well, you know what, we don't accept your, let's say MasterCard, because, you know, now we know MasterCard is right wing, so we're not going to accept payments from them anymore. So your MasterCard credit card, you're done with that. You know, that's where this craziness is going, which will then definitely lead to a civil war, because if you running parallel economies and parallel countries, eventually people are going to say, why do we need to be together? And so if we can't find a way to unite under common cause, I don't know what to tell you. But you know, let me just play this real quick for you guys, so like that you guys could hear what Bongino had to say.
So I rarely do Facebook Lives anymore. I haven't done one in a long time, but this is an emergency message. Folks, we've obviously had a really rough couple of weeks. Okay. Never discriminate. Apple, the big tech tyrant, Twitter, tech tyrants. That was always the free speech alternative. We have terms of service like anyone else, but you're allowed to speak openly, and we never discriminate. Apple, the big tech tyrants at Apple, are now threatening us legally to pull us off the app up there that incited violence. Well, we have policies against inciting violence, and we do the best we can, but we're not a surveillance platform, and we never have been. They're not enforcing those rules as far as we know against Twitter and Facebook. It's just us. I need your help. We are in real trouble right now, ladies and gentlemen, and listen to me. I've been talking about this for 3 to 4 years on my show. The need to construct a parallel economy to get away from these tech tyrants and their liberal overlords. If you don't think this fight is coming for you to your door next, then you are insane. I need you to do something. Call your legislatures, call your congressmen today, and ask them what they're doing about this. We have to have equal application of the law across the board. We can't have the public square evaporate in front of our very eyes because this new police state they want brought down upon us, because now they feel like they're free to do it because Joe Biden won the presidency. And they feel like they've taken control of the presidency, the Senate too, that they feel like they can just kick us off and shut us all up.
So like I said, you know, do we want to live in that type of world? I don't want that for my kids. I want us to all live together. But this is what the left, if you know, you're not fighting for free speech is easy for stuff that you agree with. Free speech to agree with it's hard to want to fight for speech that you don't agree with. And you know, as much as I disagree with Black Lives Matter movement and all the communist stuff that they were calling for, I was never for banning them. because the only way to get out to see how you can see how terrible this stuff is was to leave it out there. They ended up removing some of the stuff from the website, especially I think the stuff about the family, because people were like, "Whoa, that's too much," and that's how you stop radicalization. That's how you stop these movements from going too far. And if I don't, I got friends on the left, I got family on the left, and I don't know what to, if I don't even know what to tell them. That's why, I'm on here also. Sometimes it's a stress reliever. It's a pressure valve, because sometimes I got all these thoughts in my head and I can't get them out because I don't want to talk to the choir. I would like to talk to people who disagree with me. And I've shared this with some people, and they're like, okay, I may not agree with what, this portion of what you said, but I agree with this portion. That's a start. That's a start to get us to have the conversation where, we may never see eye to eye on everything, but let's come together on the stuff that we do. That's where we need to focus on. People want instant gratification. They want all the issues solved in instantly, and that's not realistic. We need to come together and go, okay, you're pro 2A, I'm anti 2A. Okay, well, you know what? We can't agree on anything there. Is there anything we could agree on? Legislation? Oh, you want a registry? No, I don't want a registry. Oh, you have to have a license? Yeah, let's have a license. You want better background checks? Okay, let's get better background checks. Stuff like that where, okay, let's have a conversation back and forth. Let's see where we agree on. There's no point in arguing on the stuff that we disagree with. Let's just clarify our positions and just be like, hey, this is what we're against, and this is what we're for. If we can't meet there in the middle, then there's no middle. Then we move on to the next topic, because you can't agree on everything, and you can't get, you can't get everything that you want. So I implore people to share this with their friends on the left and go, look, listen, do you really want there to be a conservative or a right-leaning Google? Do you really want there to be a conservative right-leaning Twitter, and that you nobody's interacting with? Do you want to do like CNN is trying to get cable companies to stop airing Fox News, OANN, and Newsmax? That's ridiculous. Because people are going to those channels are still going to exist whether you try to get them off cable or not. You can stream them online. They'll just do packages like that. You got, the Blaze combined with Mark Levin, and you have Daily Wire. Daily Wire has teamed up with PragerU. What if they all team up to make one channel? It could happen. And then what are you going to do? What are you going to block them all? This is about free speech. It's not about Donald Trump. It's not about hate speech. It's about free speech. And for my Christian friends there, because like I said, I started this about talking about my men's group. For my Christian friends there, what's the expression? What's the saying I'm looking for? Let me hold on for 1 second. I'm gonna pause this and search, and I'll be right back. I couldn't find the verse that I was looking for, but I'm gonna leave with this one. It's from Matthew 43, 44. It goes, "You heard the law that says, love your neighbor and hate your enemy. But I say, love your enemies and pray for those who persecute you. And that way you will be acting as true children of your Father in heaven. For he gives the sunlight to both the evil and the good, and he sends rain on the just and the unjust alike. And if you love only those who love you, what reward is there for that? If you are kind," here you go, "if you are kind only to your friends, how are you any different from anyone else? Even pagans do that. But you are to be perfect, even as your Father in heaven is perfect." And there's that's what I want to leave you with, is especially to my Christian friends and my Christian listeners is love. If you're supposed to love your enemies, how is it loving to block them, ban them, send them away? How is that loving? We don't have to agree. We just have to love each other. Leave that little bit right there. Like and subscribe. And enjoy, for sports fans, enjoy playoff weekend.